I'm a sophomore, finance and risk management and insurance double major at Ball State. I really enjoy hanging out with friends and watching and sometimes even playing sports like pickup basketball. I really also enjoy reading in my free time as well as along with my coursework. And then I have had two great work experiences that I think have really shaped who I am as a professional. I am, I still kind of work there, but when my academics let me. But I, for the last 2 summers, I worked at Milliken and Fitton Law Firm. It was really a great experience in downtown Hamilton, my hometown. There were a lot of great professionals at that place, and I really have learned a lot of great things. I think not so much as the legal side of things. Like I have picked up a few things, but also really learning how to be a true professional and how to interact in an office setting with maybe people that you don't have too much in common with, but you can still be great friends. And then I also worked at a brand solutions company in Fairfield, Ohio. It was really a great opportunity as well. It kind of showed more of the supply chain side of things, which is really interesting to me because I hadn't really thought about it in that kind of way. But we were packing orders, weighing them out, taking them to UPS, and then also we'd have the mess ups where we would have to see if it was a mistake on our end, on the supplier's end, different stuff like that. A lot of troubleshooting things where you were interacting with other companies, which was a great experience for me also. The biggest mistake I ever made would definitely have to come from when I was working at Milliken and Fitton. So we use FedEx to ship out checks to people that are from different states that are far away that don't want to come and pick up a check and that we wouldn't want to really risk putting in the actual mail. We would want it there overnight. So we have this Dropbox location that we use in downtown Hamilton. So I walked over there and I just put it in where I thought was the slot, but it actually didn't happen to be the slot. There's in these FedEx drop boxes, they have the place where you put in the mail, but then also on top where you lift it up, kind of like what I was thinking of, where you would put it in. They have a bunch of envelopes that they can give you, so you can put it in their envelope and then put it in. So I saw a bunch of envelopes, so I thought, okay, this is the right spot. Put it in there. It turned out not to be. So it was a big mistake, hundreds of thousands of dollars in checks that I just had sitting there. It was a mistake that I could easily correct. I went over there the next day once I realized it didn't get there, and I looked. I was like, oh, I put it right there, and they're like, my colleague was like, yeah, that's not the spot to put it in. So that was interesting, and that was a really big mistake. But I also learned from it that most mistakes are correctable, and as long as you learn from them, you're gonna learn to laugh about them later, and it's just gonna probably benefit you in the future. I'd say the accomplishment I'm most proud of is in high school. I was in the top five in my class for grade point average, and in high school I was playing multiple sports, quarterback of the football team, on the varsity basketball team, and everything. And I was balancing everything, and I'd say that's where I really first learned to balance academics and sports, social life, and whatnot. So I think that was really good for me because it really helped me to work out those issues and learn how much effort I need to put in, how much I can conserve doing such and such things. It was really great, and I'm really proud of being able to do that because I had a lot of good athletic successes, a lot of good friendships, and a really good academic score. So all around, very proud of myself for that. Also, for someone that was hard to work with and difficult to get along with, I would go back to Milliken Fitton. Um, there was another person that was kind of in a similar position as me. She was a few years older. She actually had already graduated college with an accounting degree. So when we were tasked with filing in the basement, where we keep millions of files, we were trying to come up with the best strategy. Two pretty smart people just coming up with their own ideas and just trying to figure out which was the best was really probably pretty challenging, and it was really difficult to work with because I knew I was set in my ways because I thought it was right and she thought she had the best way. So when you have two really smart people, it kind of happens like that. So it was really good for me to have that experience early on because that's something that I'm sure I will come into contact with later in life and especially in business. So we ended up handling the situation. Obviously, it worked out great. We decided to go with her way, which I think both ways definitely would have worked, but it just wasn't worth arguing over any longer. Just get in, get the job done, do what we had to do, and it was great. On a team, I would say I generally assume a leadership role because that's just kind of my personality. I'm a go getter. I believe in myself, believe in my ideas, and I really think that I'm a good communicator also. Communication is one of my favorite things. I love talking to people, whether or not they're my friends or team members or just somebody walking around, start a conversation. But I would say that I'd be the leader of a team. How would past coworkers and friends describe your personality? I think they would describe me as very intelligent, fun to be around, and great to work with. That at Milliken and Fitton and Halo Branded Solutions, I really made connections with just about everybody in the office. There were people from all ages, all gender. I mean, it just didn't matter. I just have a good relationship with a lot of people. It's from the attorney level all the way to the receptionist at the front desk. It's really great, and that's something I really enjoy. I really enjoy trying to get to know people like that, and everybody has different little things that is their favorite. So I get to learn that somebody else loves movies that I like, and then there's also an avid sports fan that we got to talk fantasy football with all the time, and every week we come in and we talk about it. It's just a great conversation starter and just something I really enjoyed from somebody that I didn't expect to be a big fantasy football player. It was really fun. I would say that the first time I've never really failed a test, but the first time I've got my worst test grade ever in college, I would say would be this past semester, my Accounting 301 class. It's really a tough class, and she told us it was going to be tough. So going into the first test, I studied like I usually would, and it was tough, and I got a really bad grade. So I just knew that I would have to work that much harder in accounting, 301 especially intermediate accounting. The next test I decided to study a little harder, focus on different areas, and I ended up getting a 98. So that's how I dealt with the failure. I went and attacked it, and then I did better the next time. So that was great. I'd say my primary strength would be my academic smarts combined with my communication skills, because I think that when you have both of those, that just takes you to the next level. A weakness of mine would be I sometimes I would try to figure things out myself, but if I would have asked somebody a quick question, I probably could have figured it out a little faster. So finding a balance between that would probably be my biggest weakness right now that I'm working on. I would say that I should be hired over other candidates for this position, kind of on the similar lines to the last question. I really think that when you put the academic intelligence with the communication skills, that's going to be the best person possible for this position. And I really feel that that's me. I have worked in offices and so far, and it's been really beneficial. And I feel like I have great communication skills. I think I can connect with just about anybody at this point, and I really enjoy doing that. Like it's one of my favorite things from working there. I had different friends that you would never expect me to be friends with. That we just found something in common, and we got to talk about it every day at the water cooler, at the copier. Kind of like cliche spots to talk about. Like it actually happens. So it was actually pretty fun, and I think that that's something that I love that I could really bring to your company. Ooh, which fictional character best personifies you and why? I would say that I'm not really into cartoons, so I'm not going to go that route. But fictional character, one of my favorite shows, Suits. You may or may not have watched it, but I would recommend it. It's really good. It's about attorneys in big law, corporate law, where they represent companies through big time mergers, basically. But there's a character in there, Harvey Specter, where he is a partner at the law firm. He usually takes the lead on all of the cases, and his leadership skills seem to really be kind of similar to what I would be. At some points, he has to be kind of mean just to get his point across, but at the end of the day, they all end up loving him because they know he's just trying to do the best for the clients. So sometimes you get into tense situations like that, but after the case, you're all friends and everything. So I think that would probably be who personifies me.